Welcome to the Matt and John Show, where real patriots dive into real issues.
All right, welcome to the Matt and John Show, where real patriots come to discuss real issues that affect our communities, our families, our communities, and this great nation. So I'm sitting across from John, the greatest producer in all the land. John, what do we got today?
All right, Matt, we got a ton of stuff to talk about today. Some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff, but we're going to be going over the most recent shooting incident. Unfortunately, there's been another shooting. We got to talk about that at Grand Blanc, Michigan, at the LDS Church. We're going to be talking about the government shutdown and Trump's ingenious response to some of the shenanigans being pulled by the Democrats. And then we're going to be also talking about the latest TikTok update on who bought it, because there was a time limit on that being purchased by an American company. So we're talking about that. So we're going to be getting into all that stuff today. So we got a fun show today.
All right, let's do it. Let's get started.
So we thought it'd be appropriate, since we've kind of had some downer topics the past couple of episodes, maybe just start off a little bit lighter, a little bit funnier. So we have some clips we're going to share with you guys to kind of lighten the mood, but just to kind of give some context. Recently there's been a government shutdown as of October 2nd, 2025, after Senate Democrats rejected a GOP funding bill. So Trump calls it a, quote, opportunity to cut federal Democrat agencies and freeze billions for blue states. Essentially, services are reduced and federal workers face imminent layoffs. So that can include, TSA, federal employees, anybody that falls under that umbrella.
Yeah, it's 77% or something. 72% is considered essential. Yeah. So it's just the non-essential ones.
Right.
Which, why do we even have them if they're non-essential?
Right. So the controversies is each side blames each other, specifically among Republicans, where the controversy that Republicans bring up is that we're going to be funding healthcare for illegal aliens.
Right.
And we're saying, no, we're not going to do that. And so the other side is using this as a political point to not vote, to keep the government open. It's called a continuing resolution. And all that really is. CR, continuing resolution essentially is a no strings attached resolution saying, hey, let's just keep going with what we've got. Let's just keep paying our employees, keep the government running,
there's no cuts.
Keep the lights on, and let's just continue
the
what
current
we're doing
spending for 3 months.
Exactly. That's all that the conservatives on the Republican side are saying. But again, the Democrats are using this as a way to shut things down, to hit the brakes. Exactly. So in response to this insanity, in my opinion, and probably your opinion too,
of course,
Trump came up with this really, really, really funny meme, this most current meme war from just a hilarious president.
All right, so drop it like it's hot.
We're going to watch the video. Here we go.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, at least for a while, until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Dude, I love the sombrero and the handlebar mustache on Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes. So,
that's AI generated, of course.
Yeah, I have to disclose that, but I'm sure you guys could figure that out.
Trump dropped it on his True Social account, I believe, right?
Yeah, he did.
El Presidente, great job.
Oh yeah, and there's so many more funny ones, and if I find some more funny ones, I'll drop it right now.
Yeah, perfect.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
So So we love our president. He does such a great job of just trolling. I mean,
He's great.
he's got a great team behind him, great editors, and the Democrats just can't even touch us when it comes to the trolling game. Like,
Yeah, they can. I mean, their playbook they've used for the last 8 years, 10 years, it's done for.
yeah, the only path they have is coercion through fear and intimidation. Like, you will bow to us and you will listen to us. And then we have people, conservatives on the right, who are intelligently debating, like Charlie Kirk and what he did, and other conservatives. We do campus tours. We do independent podcasting like us.
Absolutely.
We our message, because we seek for the truth, it resonates with people. We don't need to coerce people into believing how we believe just through fear and intimidation tactics.
Right.
We're
It's persuasion.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about ideas, and like you and I agree, we agree, or we prefer clarity to agreement. Hat tip the great Dennis Prager. But clarity to agreement. So
yeah, clarity over agreement. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So with that, we can definitely talk about that more in a little bit. But we want to get into kind of some of the big topics that have been going on the last couple of days. So unfortunately, there's been another mass shooting that has happened. Let me give you the details on that. On September 28th, 2025, Thomas Jacob Sanford drove his truck into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. He opened fire after ramming his truck through the wall, and he started shooting indiscriminately on the members of the church that were worshiping there during a Sunday service. It didn't matter, men, women, and children. Afterwards, he set the church on fire. 5 were killed, and several were injured, and Sanford's past online presence showed some references to Trump, but official motives remain unclear. Well, that's the official report, but because I'm actually a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I have a lot of inside knowledge. I actually have people in my congregation who know the people in that particular congregation. They grew up there. I have a lot of Latter-day Saint friends, so we talk.
Sure. Yeah.
But one of the things that has come up recently was the fact that this individual had talked to a local person that was running for city council, and he happened to have a conversation with him like a week before the shooting. And in that conversation, it seemed, casual, it seemed normal at first, but as he got talking with him more, the conversation quickly shifted to the topic of religion, particularly anti-Mormon or anti-LDS viewpoints, and that's where things kind of started to get a little off. And then that particular person who was canvassing the neighborhood and campaigning is like, okay, well, have a nice day, and didn't think too much of it. And then a week later, once the official photo of the shooter was released, he realized that he had talked to that exact individual a week before the shooting.
That is wild. Yeah.
As you do doors, there's a lot of people that will maybe open their door a crack or even stand behind the screen door. We got within feet of each other. We had a quick introduction. We spoke about our children. He spoke about his background. And quickly, the first question that he had for me was like, what's your position on guns? I said, I support the Second Amendment. That was really the end of it. And then the very next question, and he leans in, he goes, what do you know about Mormons? And what he's saying, each kind of question or each statement is a bit sharper, ultimately ending up with like, Mormons are the Antichrist. And that's something I'll never forget. He didn't say anything about an attack. And that's the part that's just surreal, that he at one point makes I think a genuine connection to my child. And then 6 days later, turns his truck into a missile.
So it was very clear that he had some hate in his heart. His intentions were to murder people of the Latter-day Saint faith. It was definitely religious hatred and persecution. And this might seem like it kind of out left field, like, well, whoa, where's this coming from? How did this escalate, this far?
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna play a video for you guys just to give you a taste of some of the things that people in religious circles experience really on a daily basis. So I'm gonna play that for you. And so what you're gonna hear is a clip of somebody kind of explaining the situation a little bit, and then you're going to get a little taste of some of the negative online reactions that we've been experiencing after this truly devastating and horrific event.
In response to the Michigan massacre, Latter-day Saints have been busy raising money for the victims and their families, but also for the shooter's widow and their son, who suffers from a rare medical condition. Public reaction to the whole situation has unfortunately been mixed. Most people have shown a lot of compassion and love, and feel free to pause and read some of those comments. There are some really great ones. Others heard about this tragedy and apparently felt the need to mark boundaries and remind the public that Mormons aren't Christians. They're cult members, demonic, and should be erased. This is precisely the kind of inflammatory language that I think can encourage actual violence, the kind we saw last Sunday. To our peace-loving Christian friends, I'm not asking you to agree with our beliefs, but please help calm down this kind of rhetoric. We're the brainwashed ones. It hits different when it comes from you. And if you're just kind of on the fence about Latter-day Saints, please tune in for our general conference this weekend and get to know us a little more.
It's interesting because we had just to kind of give a little bit of timeline, we had the recent shooting in the Catholic Church that happened with the trans shooter that obviously had some hurt there and decided to take it out on the Catholic school. Very tragic, very sad. Then we obviously had Irina, who was stabbed on a public bus, and then we had the Charlie Kirk shooting. But it's been very interesting to see that in all of those cases there was this general consensus of sympathy and love, like, oh, that's really, really sad. But why is it that when our church goes through a similar tragedy that we get met with judgment and rhetoric and condemnation? And I think it hits on the nerve of a bigger point, is that there is a lot of ideological, political, and theological differences, and people hold those beliefs very deeply, and that's fine. You can disagree with people, but don't go around condemning and belittling people's faith, especially when they're down. Why are you going to kick them when they're down? And pouring salt on a wound.
Yeah, I don't understand that type of hatred.
Yeah,
You believe what you want to believe, and I'll believe what I want to believe, and we'll come together as Americans and patriots.
Yeah. Well, I do understand that hatred. I served a mission for the church for 2 years, and I went around proselyting and spreading my faith, to anyone who would want to listen, not shoving it down people's throats, not going around condemning people, but just inviting people. And people who didn't even know anything about me personally, all they saw was the white shirt, the tie, the name badge,
and the bicycle.
Yes. And the most vitriolic hate would just boil over them, and they felt the need to come over and just yell and scream and harass, and threaten, have a gun pulled out, throw stuff at us. Like, I've experienced all of that.
They're throwing stuff at you.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed. That thought never crossed my mind, but I've seen it my entire life, riding around.
Exactly.
They came to my door before, and it's just like,
right. It's so unbelievable to you that there are people that would do that.
Actually throw.
Yeah. Throw it at a teenager, right? A kid, literally a kid on a bike. Right. It's almost, it's not funny, but it's just so incredible that there are people out there that do that. And the big point that I want to make in all of this is that there are Christians out there that feel the need to spread hate with people who believe differently than them. And they're
not really Christian.
And that was my next point, is that they're not really living their religion.
Right.
because it's very clearly stated in the Bible to love one another
Right.
and to love your neighbor as yourself.
Sure.
And that if you truly, truly believe that we're misguided, shouldn't you be the ones to come and lovingly reclaim us? What I want to say to everyone who attends a church out there that may be engaging in hateful language and rhetoric towards other denominations, if you're part of that church, I would strongly encourage you to really think deeply if that is the right church for you. We can't have this sort of divisive, hateful language spread because of incidents just like this. We just saw innocent people worshiping in church that were gunned down violently, we have children traumatized, people dead, burned alive. And it was because of people spreading hateful comments, hateful ideologies towards a particular group of people that believed a certain way. And we've seen this played out over and over again throughout time of people othering each other, like, oh, those people, or
Sure.
their skin color or their country of origin or their religion, and by you engaging in divisive and hateful language only adds to more hate and more pain. And so I encourage everyone to just not engage in that kind of talk. You can respectfully disagree on theological topics.
Sure.
And we can, like you were saying earlier, that we seek for clarity
Over agreement. Yes,
over
correct.
agreement. We don't need to agree on all of our theological points
And
of
we won't.
doctrine, and we won't.
Yeah, there's a saying that if you're in 100% agreement with another person, there's only need for one person. So there's not ever going to be 100% agreement on anything. If you live in an open carry state, you need to, and you're a man or woman, these soft targets are the reason why we're having these things. Schools, churches is, so if you're a man or a woman, you have open carry, great. If you, in a state like California, you can get a CCW. These churches, the pews need to be filled with people that are carrying firearms, and same thing in the schools, same thing in the churches, same thing in the shopping malls. Everybody needs to be freaking armed. An armed society is a polite society. So, oh man, I'm scared. I've never done it before. Trust me, there's classes in every city, town, across America. Take some classes, watch some YouTube videos on safety and stuff. Get a gun safe, if you have kids. But we need to be armed. Otherwise, this stuff, I fear it's going to get worse before it gets better. So anyways, your pastor needs to be armed, packing.
Oh yeah.
Texas, I can't remember. It was like a year or two ago, maybe longer because time's flying. But yeah, somebody tried to do that in a Texas church, and he got off. I think he might have killed one or two or whoever it was, but the pastor was armed. Everybody turned around. They blasted the dude, sent him straight to hell. And so that's unfortunately, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
It's saying is it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm just saying we need to be armed, especially if you're a man. You need to protect your flock, especially if you're a pastor.
Yeah.
We need to protect our families and our communities.
Wise words from Matt. If you're not packing, then you're not prepared.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that, because that was actually a discussion and a thought that I had with my wife. I'm like, hey, are we safe at church?
Yeah.
And our places of worship? And I had this really sinister thought creep into my mind. So we members of my church have something called a temple, and it's a more sacred, more exclusive religious worship experience. So you have to be really living the commandments. Not everybody can go to the temple.
Right,
it's a very sacred place that you can be. And I remember thinking, as I was walking to the temple, what's to stop anyone from just walking in and committing atrocities?
There's not.
That there was.
It's an
there's
illusion.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And it just knowing that I could be a target, or people in this place of worship could be a target, was just a really it was a really sad, it was sobering. It
Yeah.
was sobering and sad, and just realizing like, wow, we live in a world where I can't even go to church now and be safe. And I don't want to live in that kind of world. I want to live in a world and in a country where I can go to church with my kids and my wife,
Right.
and feel safe and not have to look over my shoulder because there could be some psychopath coming through
Right.
and mowing us down.
Safety is an illusion because there's nothing stopping anybody, like you were just saying, from walking in. Who evil demons who want to do harm to other people, there's not. So, we need people that are proficient with the use of firearms,
Mhm.
and they're there. Some psycho evil demon wants to try to go ahead and hurt people. Sorry, you're getting two to the chest, one to the head. So
Okay.
sorry.
Is that the official 2 to the chest, 1 to the head?
It's called the body armor drill. Yeah.
the-
At least that's when I was in private security. Federally, that's how we trained. Yeah.
Okay.
So body armor, and then
Chest first because it's an easier target because it's a big
you always center mass. Yeah. You
Center
always want to go center mass.
center mass.
But in case they're wearing body armor, which sometimes they do,
yeah.
then you go for the head.
Then you go for the head,
Yeah.
take him
But
down.
it's a tougher shot.
Which from the now I this is unconfirmed, but from my insiders connections that I heard that one of the leadership of the church did actually have a gun and was able to return fire.
Really?
So,
Okay. That's
still
good.
still unconfirmed,
That's
but
good, yeah.
but possibly save some lives. Definitely save some lives.
Absolutely.
know?
You're slowing the shooter down. Now, instead of him just trying to you just got to understand, man, in their minds, they want to kill as many people as possible before they get killed or they take their own lives.
Yeah.
So, yes, if he's returning fire now, I can't just mow people. I have to now focus on the threat, the threat to the bad guy,
Yeah.
the good guy with a gun. So now, I've got to take cover, concealment, and I have to try to take him out before he takes me out,
Yeah.
he or she.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
no, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cover fire, good.
Yeah.
Or
And then I want
lay
to
down
give
fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to the police of what's that? It's Grand Blanc.
Blanc.
I think I'm saying
Yeah.
that right. Forgive me if I say it wrong. You guys were there I believe within 33 seconds. You guys were
Wow.
on premise. You were already returning fire to the assailant, and it was ultimately the police that shot him and took him out.
Good.
So
So he's sitting in hell where he belongs.
South end of the building, south end of the building.
This morning, newly released video showing the terrifying moment officers responded to the deadly shooting at a Michigan church, confronting the gunman.
I got your back here, man.
Body camera footage shows this officer arriving on scene. Immediately, he rushes towards the church, gunshots still ringing out.
Shoot him!
There, you see officers encountering the suspect, soon open firing. That suspect now deceased, identified as 40-year-old Thomas Sanford, an Iraq War veteran. Police say he killed 4 and injured 8 others when he crashed his truck into the Church of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan on a Sunday morning. Hundreds still inside worshiping.
We have an active shooter at the church and PD's on scene saying the building is also on fire.
Sanford then opening fire and setting the building ablaze, some still trapped inside. Police later finding explosives in his vehicle too. Churchgoer Brian Taylor describing to our affiliate WXYZ the terrifying moment he says he was shot at while trying to bring others to safety.
He pointed his gun at our car and fired 3 shots. 2 of them went through our windshield and just missed me, and luckily everybody else.
Now, police giving new details about their response, saying that first officer was on site about 3 minutes after the first 911 call. The suspect shot and killed shortly after.
2 officers running to the sounds of gunfire to save lives. Very courageous actions. This is what law enforcement is trained to do.
And it makes me wonder, like, there's still details coming out. There's still a timeline. I just want these people to heal, and before we can start a real deep investigation and really piece together the timeline. But he definitely had enough time to get off a few rounds and then turn around and set the entire building on fire, and it's gone. Like the building is just burned. And there was one woman, unfortunately, who wasn't able to make it out and ended up getting caught up in the fire. It was an act of pure evil. And we pray for the families, the victims, people who were affected by this, and we just pray that God will comfort them during this time. I also want to play another clip really quick.
You roll up to the church, you smash your car through the front door, you get out, you start spraying bullets all around people that are praying to God. Gasoline, light it up on fire. People were alive in there that most likely can't even be identified today. Children running, children hiding, holding on to each other, shielding each other. Heroes walking among us at the ages of 10, 12, 13, 15, 18. We don't even know it. Doing everything they can to keep their loved ones alive. And do you know what the church's response was? Do you know what the response was for the members of that church in Michigan to the man that brutally attacked them and all their families and their loved ones? Their response was that there's a wife out there that just lost her husband. Their response was that there's a child that will never see their dad again, and we must help them and show them comfort, as it has nothing to do with them of what their father has done, what their husband has done. And we're gonna open up either a GoFundMe, which has already, by the way, raised $150,000 for the family that has been left behind. I'm struggling to find the same forgiveness. I'm struggling. God help me. I am struggling to find the same compassion. I know that the wife and the child have nothing to do with this. None of this is their fault. And this family is at a loss as well. And I pray one day that God would grant me the ability to show that same type of compassion. But I'm mad and I'm angry. And until the strength of these emotions go away, I truly cannot find it in my heart to show compassion for anybody right now, except for the people that have lost their lives in that church while they are praying. To the members of the Mormon community, to the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, you have displayed the highest level of compassion that in my 55 years of being here, I have ever seen. We are praying for you. We are praying for your families. We pray for everybody who lost their lives. May they be up in heaven with our Lord and Savior, shining their light upon all of you.
Who was that guy?
I don't know. And that video has been blowing up. I've been seeing it all over the place.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he gives he's not even I don't believe he's a member of our church, but he gives a very emotional,
yeah, he's talking about people. People were attacked and murdered.
Yeah. But I wanted to show that clip in comparison to those other clips, because I want to remind people that there's more good people out there. There's more understanding people, more compassionate people that have that spirit, that true spirit of Christianity and love. And I admit that when this news first broke out, I definitely had a lot of hate and anger. More anger. I wouldn't say hate, but I was definitely angry over what happened, and just kind of the why behind it. And having grown up in this church and experienced every kind of, just persecution, belittlement, having a lifetime of people always challenging your beliefs, your ideology, putting you down, it definitely hit that nerve. but I can say with clarity and with sincerity, like Erica Kirk did for Charlie's assailant, I can also say those same words to the shooter, that I forgive you. And I hope that people like Erica, people like us in our community who are suffering, that we can extend that arm of forgiveness to people who are hurting out there, that we can mend the hate, and that we can bring people together in a way that God wants us to be together. And yeah, and that's what I want to share with everyone.
Yeah, that's, man, to forgive, it's pretty impressive.
Mormons are tough. We've been through this before.
Yeah.
We have a long history of our people being persecuted and killed and violence, and you read our history, and it's pretty sorrowful, pretty gut wrenching. But we will get through this. We know we live in the greatest country in the world.
Absolutely.
And we have wonderful people, and there are wonderful Christians out there who have embraced us, non-Christians, just people who have come out of nowhere and embraced us and have donated to all the victims of this terrible tragedy. Super proud of my church for setting up that GoFundMe. Actually, it was a member, not the official church, but there was a member of the church who just said, let's do it. Let's take care of the shooter's family, because it's the right thing to do. You know, there was a wife and a child.
Take care of the shooter's family?
Take care of the shooter's family, because there was a wife and a child that just lost their dad and their husband.
Right.
You know, he was going through, he had some demons he was working through. I don't blame his wife or his kid in any way.
You can't. No.
You know, it was not their fault. And now they have to deal with the grief and the loss of losing him. And, you know, the expenses of funeral arrangements. I hear that their son has some special needs. And so now he can get better care for what he's dealing with. So we just pray for healing and for hope for everyone that's involved.
Right. For sure.
So, okay, Matt, that was some heavy topics. Holy cow. That was a lot to talk about. So too many shootings in the last month and a half.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not including like small, one-on-one shootings and stuff.
Yeah.
Too many on the south side of Chicago.
Too many shootings. I want to circle back really quick to the government shutdown and just play this clip really quick of J.D. Vance, because we love J.D. Vance.
I do, Mr. Vice President.
He's amazing. So we just want to kind of get his opinion weighing in on the latest government shutdown.
And typically, when we've seen government shutdowns over the course of the last decade, it's been Republicans who are pushing for less spending and saying that they want to sort of revise the bargain so that we are going not as far into debt. Democrats here are saying they want to basically overrule whatever spending cuts happened in the one big beautiful bill because they lost that particular legislative fight. And now they're trying to reverse that by shutting down the government to get more spending, which is definitely a unique take on the situation.
This is what's called a continuing resolution. It just continues spending at the level that it currently exists today, which again, Ben, I would like it to be lower, but we're not going to take the American economy hostage over these disagreements. So we're trying to keep the government open basically for about 3 months. That's it. And in order to keep the government open for 3 months, the Democrats are saying, give us literally $1.5 trillion of new spending, a lot of which goes to healthcare benefits for illegal aliens. So it's bad policy. It's actually bad fiscal management. Republicans want to cut the amount of money that the government is wasting. Democrats want to increase it, and they're willing to shut down the government for their very ridiculous demands. That's why it's such a losing position politically.
Crazy.
1.5 trillion in additional spending. Yeah. Like what are we pushing $6-7 trillion right now?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So that CR, normally it's the Republicans, like Mr. Vice President was saying, they're the ones shutting down the government, and it's the Democrats this time, and it's because they want more money, and it's not like maybe $100 billion, which is a boatload of money, but $1.75 trillion in additional spending. And of course, they just want it because they want to pass it out to their cronies and their commies. So,
yeah.
Anyways, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, you hit the nail on the head on that one. And they also want to resurrect USAID. They want to bring back all of these, NGOs, and basically they're all grifting schemes. They're all money laundering schemes to siphon money from
get it back to them.
Yeah, they want to steal money from the taxpayers and fund their little projects, get them to their piggy banks, and that's why when Doge was first operating, they were just slashing and burning. They were
exposing
the corruption by following the money.
Right.
And Democrats they're feeling the hurt because their money machine just got cut off. Their piggy bank got taken away.
Well, it would be funneled back from NGOs into their political coffers. So when they're running for their elections, right? It costs lots of money, right? You gotta make it rain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would go from one NGO to another NGO to another NGO
to a shell company,
and then shell company, whatever it is, and then it would make it back in the form of either probably cash payouts. I mean, how does Biden own 3 houses or whatever, or Bernie Sanders? But then it would filter back to them for political. So they're using that money for political, our own freaking taxes.
Yeah.
Our own money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so corrupt and just evil.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so I'm glad that the Republicans are saying no to this.
Blank no.
Yeah, we're saying no. We're not going back. We're not going to be funding these money wasting projects, and we're done with that.
And it's like 25% or 75% or some, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it is deemed essential. So they're not getting furloughed or laid off, and the other 25%, they get paid vacations. I used to work for private security for a federal contract, and I think it was when Republicans closed it down, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago or whatever, all the Social Security workers, they just stayed at home, and it was like 2 weeks or something, or a week, and they all got paid. They got back pay and everything. So when the communist media is giving you all of these sad sob stories and stuff, they're lying. Most of these people, okay, I'm going to say most, okay, are getting paid, and they're getting paid vacations, and you know what? God bless them. So
my question is, are members of Congress and the Senate still getting their paychecks because they are federal employees, right?
Yeah, that's a great question.
So I believe it was Ted Cruz that voluntarily gave his paycheck, or basically said, put a hold on my paycheck, as kind of hey, if the government and government employees aren't getting paid, then I shouldn't take a paycheck either.
I love that. I didn't hear that. Yeah. No, I do love Ted Cruz. He's one of my favorite. Him and Ron Johnson from Wisconsin.
We love our Wisconsiners.
Ron Johnson, man. Him and Ted Cruz are two of my favorite for sure.
Yeah, so I think that was a very noble, but it set a precedent, because we do need to really kind of think about how the Senate and the House operates, because if federal employees aren't getting paid, they shouldn't get paid either.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, no, for sure.
So I guess my final thought on the continuing resolution is, let's get this taken care of quickly. Republicans, whatever you need to do to get this done. I know they need the votes in the Senate to get this resolved, so we can continue to fund the government for the next 3 months. This
is wild.
Yeah, it's a bad look for Democrats.
It's wild, because the Republicans aren't even saying, all right, yes, we need to take out another $100 billion, another $1 trillion. Let's get it back down to 2019 pre-lockdown numbers. It's not. They're literally just saying the CR, continuing resolution, they're not cutting anything. It's the exact same way the government has been running.
Yeah.
And
there were no strings.
Yeah.
So this is This is blatantly a political ploy from the left to hold the American people hostage and then try and turn around and blame Republicans and say, oh, they're the ones that are stopping the government and not paying out to these deserving employees. No. Republicans have been sensible and accommodating this whole time. It's the Democrats that are putting their foot on the brakes and taking our government to a screeching halt. And I'm proud of Trump and his hilarious response to everything with just sending those memes and showing them that you guys are ridiculous. Like we're not going to put up with your behavior. They're like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old throwing a tantrum. Like if we can't get what we want, then nobody can get what they want.
It's lawfare, man. It's they're just trying to spin it this way. They don't care about the American people. All they care, they're communists. All they care about is power and power. Yeah,
power and money.
Power and money. Yeah,
absolutely. And and I think just one quick point on that is this idea of rules for thee and not for me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and they live in a completely different world than you and I.
Right.
Okay, we're normies. We're normal people just trying to make a living, just live our lives,
our families,
trying to raise our families, do good in the community, take care of our kids, and just be good people.
Right.
You know, that's like normal behavior.
It's Americans.
And then these people in these positions of power, mostly on the left, just want to watch the world burn. They're like that movie, The Dark Knight with Joker, where it's like some men just want to watch the world burn.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that they are the Joker. They're the bad guys in this story. They're the villains. And that's why it just blows my mind that people like Antifa and other sympathizers can go along with Democrats now, because they're not the Democratic Party they were when we were growing up, you know?
No, they're not your Reagan.
No.
Your grandma and grandpa Democrats. No.
Yeah, they're the Democrats. Even when I was a kid, were like, oh yeah, Labor Party, let's fight for the workers. Let's fight for ACLU, you know, civil liberties, and, you know, people who are oppressed, and, you know, they stood for, they were principled at least, you know, even if you ideologically disagreed with them, they still had their principles. Now it's like, I can't even tell you what a cohesive principle of the Democratic Party. I don't know, besides trans and woke agenda. That's it.
Yeah. And if you listen to their policies, it's, I mean, look at the New York, Mondani, the New York mayor race. I can't remember if he won it or if it's coming up.
It's coming close. Yeah.
Okay. But it sounds like it's looking like he's going to win.
Yes.
This guy is straight up. He wants government grocery stores.
Free
busing. Yeah, Mondani.
Yeah.
He's like, well, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to tax the rich. Well, dude, they're going to continue moving out, and then you're not going to have a tax base. You stupid freaking.
Yeah. Right.
Communist.
Yeah. So
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. So New York has some strong questions they need to ask, because they're going through a mayoral race.
I feel bad because I tell everybody, hey, if you can get out of these blue Democrat plantations, but you know, it's hard. Sometimes you can't afford to do it. And I feel for them, because I don't know, my wife and I, we decided to move to Texas, and we just couldn't take it anymore. And so,
I envy you, because my situation is such that I can't leave the state, and so I have to stay here, at least till my kids are grown.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm okay with that. You know, California's my home now. It's a beautiful state, and there are a lot of conservatives. We're definitely turning purple. California's purple right now.
Well, if you look at the electoral map, California's blood red. It actually has the most Republicans in any state. Granted, we have 40 million people, or 30 million, whatever we're dropping to, but it's just the major city centers is what is controlling California. It's crazy.
I live close enough to Sacramento, and I've made a lot of different friends in the area, and it's very interesting because most of the people that work for the state, that work with the governor and work very closely, they're all blue. They're all Democrats. So it's all a blue boys club, everyone hiring each other and keeping the establishment blue. And so people like me or other conservatives that want to get in there, we're not going to get any favors. We're not going to get any help. And so that's why we need conservatives to be loud and be proud here in California, because there are a lot of us. We're out there.
Right.
We just need to stand our ground and not let these, leftist lunatics get away with all these policy changes. So
part of the thing too is, everybody, when it comes up to national, everyone goes and votes for the national election, right?
Right.
But the most important elections is going to be your local first, because that directly affects yourself, your community, your family, your neighborhood, and then also state. Like, for example, I'm terrible at this. I'm pointing a finger at myself, but I don't even know who my city councilmen are. What about the school, the members on the school board? So this is part of my promise and commitment is from here on out. Like when I moved to Texas, I'm going to the Secretary of State's website and I'm going to actually vote in every single election. And what's crazy, your local ones especially, sometimes it's won by 200 votes. 200 votes, something crazy small like that, right?
Jeez.
Say there's 10,000 voters, and 2,000 come out to vote. It's wild. So local, state, and then also federal. Everybody just needs to be voting every time. Unfortunately, we have to pay attention because otherwise the communists, they get in power. They look for those small little, like librarian or dog catcher, and they get a foothold because nobody votes. Nobody shows up, Nobody like myself or you, John, or our fellow patriots out there goes, hey, I'm going to actually run for that position, right? So,
well, there's a reason why. Because conservatives, we're the ones
building.
We're building businesses.
Yes.
We're building
Raising families. Yes.
We're busy.
Yes.
We're real busy.
I know.
I've done my duty. I got 6 kids.
Yeah.
And I own a business.
Got a platoon. Yes.
And I coach soccer.
Right.
So it's like,
no, it's hard. Yeah.
It's hard.
But at least vote, and then get a friend to vote or a family member, bring them down to vote. Is so freaking important, especially your local ones, man. Because John, you and I were always talking national news and stuff, but the local is so key. In state.
And just one point on that is, I know there are so many people out there that say, oh, well, I'm not very political, or I don't want to get into politics. I just want to live my life.
Sure.
But just like you were saying a moment ago, like, well, that life that you think you want to live, it's not going to be there anymore.
Right.
Because you have just been sitting there idling and not making a decision, sitting on the fence, not being a part of the civic discussion. And so now all these people are making decisions for you, and now that life is gone. And the best example I can share is what happened with COVID. That is the best example.
Yeah, absolutely.
With forced lockdowns, forced social distancing, forced clot shots, shut down schools, shut down churches. I mean, they came for absolutely everyone, left or right. It doesn't matter who you were.
Except Walmart and your corner liquor store.
That's right. Exactly.
We talked about it previously.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Bezos, he needs his money. But that's just an example of like, oh, I'm not a political person. Well, too bad, because if you don't participate, they're going to make the decisions for you, and it's going to be too late. And before they start forcing and imposing things on you. So
communist always seeks power. Okay. And unfortunately, we have to pay attention to these things. Like we talked about last time, is I just want to have like a barbecue, have the friends over, raise my family, coach soccer, and unfortunately, by not paying attention, these communists, just that human nature side of human nature, they end up getting elected, and then now they have the power. And if they could, they would rule over you like tyrants. American communists are no different than North Koreans, Russians, Chinese. It's human nature, and if they're giving power, there you go. If they're given power, they will use it. Fortunately, I know it seems like our institutions are crashing, but fortunately, it hasn't. American communism hasn't, looked like Chinese or North Korean communism yet, because of our institution is still so strong. I was thinking about that on the way over. Like the institutions that our founding fathers built is still strong. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think it was trailing. I was rambling. Rambling. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. Our institutions are strong, and we're still a constitutional republic.
Yeah.
Based on Christian ideals,
Judeo-Christian. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So if we hold true to those ideals and not let these, dissenting cultural, political ideologies infect our country, we can continue to stand strong.
I believe it.
Yeah.
God bless America.
God bless America. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps it up
for today. Yeah,
that was good. We covered a lot of topics. We talked a lot about the shooting and kind of religious persecution and the spirit of forgiveness. We talked a lot about the government shutdown and kind of what's happening between Republicans and Democrats and how we need to essentially get people paid and move it forward and try to be fiscally conservative. So we covered a lot of good stuff today.
We did.
So with that, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Matt and John Show. Together, we're keeping the flame of liberty alive and shining a light on the truth. We want to invite everyone to follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. We are all over social media. And so make sure you follow, subscribe, and tune into all of our different platforms so you can follow us on the latest.
Also, too, email us at mattandjohnshow@gmail.com. Right, John?
Absolutely.
Yes. We want to hear your success stories, having a baby, you got married, or you got engaged, or
red pilled.
Oh, even better. Yes. If you learned something from our show that you were just like, wow, I like that. Thank you. I didn't look at it that way. Yes, please just send us. Keep your emails short, sweet. Put your name at the top, and then where you're from or where you're emailing from in the world, and then at the bottom, because if we read your email, if you want us to actually say your name, then just you can say my name. If not, we respect your privacy. So. Email us all your success stories and red pills and anything cool that you learn. We read them all. So
awesome. Well, stay strong, stay free. And until next time, God bless America.
God bless America.
Thanks for listening to the Matt and John Show. Be sure to follow us on social media. And until next time, God bless you and God bless America.